My curious and playful Gemini friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. A Gemini, if you pause for a moment and listen underneath your usual flow of ideas, there's a subtle ache for balance this week. You might sense it between breaths in the quiet after a conversation, or when you catch yourself giving away a little more energy than you meant to. There's a restlessness, as if you're waiting for a gentle hand to reach back when you extend yours. At the heart of it is a quiet question: am I seen in the ways that matter, or am I just filling empty spaces with words and care? It's not loneliness exactly, more a longing to feel that the give and take in your life is truly mutual. You may notice yourself scanning interactions for signs of real exchange, or feeling a private sting when you realize you're the one holding up both ends of the rope. This tension isn't loud. It's a background hum, the kind that makes you want to slow down and notice what you're actually carrying. Beneath your usual agility and wit, there's a hope that this week, something or someone will meet you where you are without you needing to reach so far. What's alive in you now feels like the subtle weight and warmth of the 6 of Pentacles. You're moving through your days with an open hand, giving what you can, your attention, a kind word, maybe even practical help. But there's more awareness this week of what you're offering and what you're not really receiving in return. The usual ease you feel in giving, in brightening someone's day or smoothing over a rough patch, is tinged with a quiet need to be on the receiving end yourself. Perhaps you find yourself hesitating before saying yes, wondering if your energy is being spent wisely. Or maybe you catch yourself hoping someone else will notice what you need before you have to say it out loud. There's an unspoken wish for reciprocity, for the kind of exchange that feels natural and nourishing. Yet under the surface there's also a flicker of discomfort. What if you ask and nothing comes back? What if your needs go unseen? This week you may feel torn between the impulse to keep giving and the growing urge to let others step up. It's not about keeping score. It's more about wanting to feel that your own cup is being filled as much as you fill others. The tension is subtle but real. How do you allow yourself to receive without guilt or second guessing? How do you let the balance shift even a little in your favor? There's a softness to your longing and a quiet courage in acknowledging it. You're not demanding, just hoping for a natural flow of care both ways. And in that gentle hope, a new kind of self-awareness is taking root. You realize that being generous can sometimes mean letting yourself be vulnerable enough to accept what's offered, even if it feels unfamiliar. It's from this quietly shifting inner state that the week's path begins to unfold. The longing for mutuality doesn't stay hidden. It shapes the choices you're drawn to make, the interactions you seek out, and the boundaries you start to consider. As you notice what you need, you become more attuned to the spaces in your life where real exchange is possible, places where energy can move both ways. The tension between giving and receiving begins to generate a subtle momentum. You find yourself at a threshold. The old, automatic ways of engaging don't quite fit anymore. You're not sure what comes next, but there's a sense of movement, a faint pull towards something different. The week invites you to explore what happens when you let your needs be seen, even if you're not sure how it will be received. This isn't a sudden leap, but a gentle turning toward possibility. The friction is there. It's the discomfort of asking, of risking disappointment, but it's also the quiet thrill of opening to something new. This is where the Page of Wands makes its presence felt, stirring up the landscape with a fresh sense of curiosity and restlessness. You're drawn to new ways of connecting, even if they feel a little awkward at first. Maybe you find yourself starting a conversation that's more honest than usual, or expressing a desire you've kept tucked away. The usual patterns feel restrictive, and there's an urge to break free, to test the boundaries of what's possible when you show up a little more openly. The world around you seems to shimmer with potential, new experiences, unexpected invitations, the chance to explore a different side of yourself. Yet this energy doesn't come without its challenges. There's a pressure to step out of familiar roles, to risk being misunderstood or not immediately met with the response you hope for. Old habits tug at you, tempting you to retreat into comfort or play it safe. But each time you resist that pull, the friction turns into a kind of fuel. You might feel sparks of excitement mixed with uncertainty, as if you're standing at the edge of something both promising and unknown. The Page of Wands asks nothing more than your willingness to try, to reach beyond what you know. The pressures you feel, inside and out, are signs that you're alive to the moment, ready to let your curiosity lead, even if it means taking a few tentative steps into unfamiliar territory. There's a sense that something in you wants to be claimed, acknowledged, or expressed. The world doesn't promise immediate rewards, but it does offer a canvas for your willingness to experiment, to risk a little more honesty, and to see what arises when you allow the energy to flow differently. It's clear that what's possible for you this week depends on how gently and consciously you meet these unfolding moments. The potential isn't automatic, it's shaped in real time by the choices you make, the ways you respond to pressure, the degree to which you let your needs and desires be part of the conversation. If you move through the week on autopilot, the old patterns will likely hold. But if you're willing to let discomfort be a signpost rather than a stop sign, something softer and more rewarding can begin to emerge. It's an invitation, not a guarantee. The door is open, but only you can decide how far to walk through it. As the week's story opens into its wider horizon, the Knight of Cups steps forward, not as a destination, but as a gentle invitation to move with more feeling and authenticity. There's a chance now to bring all that longing, curiosity, and restlessness into a deeper, more embodied presence. Where before you might have hesitated to name your needs, now there's an opening to do so with grace. The energy here isn't forceful. It's sincere, heartfelt, and quietly brave. You may notice yourself softening, letting go of the need to control how you're received, and instead allowing your feelings to be seen as they are. The Knight of Cups doesn't promise that every overture will be met with perfect understanding, but it does offer the possibility of a more honest, emotionally rich exchange. Growth in this context feels like letting yourself be moved by your own desires, by the responses of others, by the gentle risk of showing up as you are. There's a sweetness in realizing that courage isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet choice to keep your heart open, even when you're not sure what will come back. This week, growth looks like letting yourself be surprised by what happens when you invite real connection, without expectation or demand. It's about trusting that your willingness to be seen is enough, and that from that place, new pathways can open, subtle, steady, and grounded in truth. All three cards woven together sketch a map of your week that's as much about feeling as it is about action. The Six of Pentacles highlights your longing for genuine exchange, the subtle ache to receive as much as you give. The Page of Wands brings restless curiosity, the push to try something new, to break out of old roles, and to let yourself be a little more vulnerable in the pursuit of real connection. The Knight of Cups offers a way forward that's gentle, emotionally honest, and quietly brave, a path where you're invited to let your feelings guide you, even if the outcome is uncertain. These energies don't clash, they build upon one another. The urge for balance leads you to experiment with new forms of expression. The willingness to try opens the door to deeper, more heartfelt connection, and through it all, there's a reassurance that you're not alone in your longing. The world may not always meet you perfectly, but your willingness to show up as you are becomes its own reward. The week doesn't ask you to be anything other than present. In that presence, the subtle tensions ease, and something softer, more mutual begins to take shape. You end the week not with answers, but with a gentler relationship to your own needs and the world around you. There's a quiet confidence in knowing that every step you take, no matter how small, shifts the balance, opening space for reciprocity, curiosity, and true feeling. In this you find a sense of peace. The path is yours, unfolding gently, one conscious moment at a time. Actionable insights for Aquarius this week. There's a gentle invitation this week to notice where your longing for balance meets the possibility for new connection. You could let yourself pause before saying yes, noticing what you actually want in that moment. You might try naming a small need aloud, just to see how it feels. You could allow a moment of genuine curiosity to lead a conversation somewhere new. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I let my needs be as real as my gifts. I trust the small shifts I feel inside. My honesty is more than enough this week. I am met gently, right where I am. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.